And welcome back to our channel and to our completed entry into Keith Models and RC's GT3 group build. I apologize for not having done any progression videos on this build. Everything has gone together very well. This is a super nice kit, very well engineered, very well laid out. It is a curbside kit, of course, no engine, but very detailed suspension assembly work that you will be doing. The interior is not super detailed, but detailed enough. Roll cage is about 6-7 pieces, not overly complicated, but just know that there is an in-depth instruction sheet, or instruction manual I should say, very well thought out, very well laid out, easy to follow along. But if you are a new builder or one who has not got but 4 or 5 builds under your belt, I would not recommend you tackle this kit. First and foremost, just because the instruction sheet can be a little intimidating if you've not done several builds, and the decal work on this kit is intense. There's a lot of decals and a lot of very small, thin, tiny decals to have to get to lay down on complex curves, such as these thin stripes right here. That is a decal inside the headlight lens right there, inside that lays on the bezel actually, and or actually I think on the glass. I told you wrong, but Microsol or Solvaset is going to be a mandatory thing to have for this, or you're going to be fighting these decals tooth and nail for sure. Once you get I use Microsol religiously, and I apply it to my decals, let it sit for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then take my hairdryer on low speed, warm setting, and put it to the decal with the Solvaset on it, or the Microsol rather, and they lay down like a glove. Take my Q-tip, damp Q-tip, brush out, mash out the dampness from underneath, and it lays down like a champ. So if you've not used that, then you're going to be kind of lost when it comes to the decal work. And that's why I say and also if you don't like doing decals, then I would stay away from this kit. I mean, you can build it how you want to. You don't have to put any decals on it. You can just build it like it is if you want to. It's your kit. But if you want it to look like this, then I would, and you're not used to doing decals, you don't like decals, then this isn't the kit for you. There's several liveries available for this kit, several decal sheets available for it. There's a ton of sponsors out there that are using this Mercedes platform in the IMSA GT3 genre of racing. So you don't have to use this one. You can get it, and they've got another one out that I plan to get. And then there's several decal sets available in different liveries for this kit. So we pretty much went with craft acrylics throughout this build. There's a lot of black on the underneath of this car, and so we just went with Folk Art Pure Black. Super easy product to use with an airbrush, and we sprayed everything down and put it in the dehydrator for about 8 hours, and then shot some satin clear over it and let it go. And we've handled it and scooted it around on the table here, and it turned out like a dream. It didn't scratch. It had masking tape over it. It had decal set on it. It had microsol on it and no issues whatsoever. The paint body color is 2 parts of the Craftsmart Gunmetal Multi-Surface Gunmetal Gray to 1 part Deco Art Gunmetal mixed together. The Deco Art is just a tad darker than the Craftsmart. I actually almost got the Tamiya TS100, which they actually came out with when they released this kit, which is their bright, semi-gloss bright gunmetal, which I thought was a little bit light for the actual 1-to-1 car, and so I mixed my own, and I think I got it fairly close. And like I said, this is satin paint anyway. So after I shot it, I let it sit outside for about 30 minutes or so before I put it in the dehydrator. And first I sprayed it with Createx Satin Clear Coat just to enhance the satin finish on the paint and to protect the paint from the masking, because you have to mask off around this window on both sides and paint this trim satin black. And then over the top of that goes a carbon fiber decal. So like I said, those decals are can be a little fiddly if you're not used to doing it. And like I said, Solvaset or Microsol or something like that is definitely going to be what you're going to need to make those decals a little less headache for you. That's pretty much it. The interior tin work on the floor is folk art brushed metal, the pale silver, as is the roll cage, which I wanted it almost looks white in the picture there, but it is a bright white, a bright light silver. I thought the pale silver brushed metal would do well. It's a matte finish when it dries, and then the other than the black and the rotor and caliper trim is the radiator which sits inside this opening on the hood is Craftsmart 10, which is a kind of a gray silver, a little bit brighter than gray and not quite as pale as the pale silver. And so that's what we use for our metal and silver color. I didn't use any of the metallizers this time. All craft acrylic pretty much. And the brake rotors and calipers are gold and 2 different shades of gold, in which we just used permanent markers. The Bic gold and the Sharpie gold, a couple of different tints there. You can see the difference. I used the Bic on the calipers and the rotor, on the rotors and the calipers. I used the Sharpie, I believe. No, I think I may have used both, the Bic on both of those, calipers and the rotors. And then we some of our little small items that we need to have silver, we just, instead of loading up the airbrush, we just went with the Artist Loft silver. And hit those with a hairdryer. They set up, they're permanent markers. You just have to get them to set real quick, before you handle them. So that's my process for when I use those. And you can make them come off, but once they set up with some kind of heat source on them, then you're good to go. That's pretty much it. It's a super nice kit. Their engineering for their installing their glass and their lenses on their headlight and taillight assemblies. Now those assemblies are fairly complex, especially this front. Is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 12 or 13 pieces, counting the bezels, the backing plates on them, the lenses themselves. So, but if you work your way through it slowly, no problems. And They've engineered their contact points for the cement, whatever you choose to use. I would suggest you using something like Mod Podge or Canopy Glue or one of the white glues, even with how they've got that laid out. Now they've got tabs cut in the top of the roof on the underside for the front glass and the rear glass. They got tabs made for the glass, and then the receiving points are etched into the body itself, where you can put your cement. You don't even have to come in contact with the glass when it comes to laying your cement in. So, super nice job they have done on the engineering on this kit. That's about all I can think of. It's a really nice kit. You owe it to yourself if you enjoy any kind of road racing or IMSA or WRC or Formula One or the GT3, the GT class of racing. You owe it to yourself to get this kit, and I'll be getting this kit again and the other kits that kind of are along this same line, and add to my collection of IMSA style racing. Okay, stick around for the slideshow for your consideration coming up. The Mercedes AMG GT3. Hope you enjoy it. We'll be moving on to something else here in the next day or two. Be watching out for that video. Don't take any crap from anyone. See you soon.